Hey, man.
What up? What up?
Feels good to be back at it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Extra good.
Look, every single time, I know we said this before, but every single time we don't have our show and we skip a week or here and there, I always feel like something's missing.
Hey, man, the routine's broken.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, definitely my excuse to sit down, enjoy a stick, have a good convo, talk about some things that's on our brains, some things we might have been going through. And talking about going through, been going through. Been going through.
The going's been going.
It's been going. yeah, all the way through. Man, life has been happening, man. The struggle's real. But you brought up some stuff to me earlier this week that really put things in perspective about how to approach when things are happening to you and just a certain type of mind frame and mindset. And I got there eventually, but you definitely confirmed it when you said what you said to me. But it definitely took me a journey to get there. It took me several weeks to months to feel like, you know what? No, hold on, wait. I'm not going to trip out. I'm going to step back. I'm going to trust God. I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to make my way through whatever it is I got to make my way through. I can figure this thing out and make it all, not necessarily all make sense, but I can do enough to handle the situation at hand. And eventually I got there. And I've been doing that, and my mindset has gotten a whole lot better. But then what you said to me, it really confirmed like where I need to be at when it comes to handling issues. Like it's gonna be all good. It's gonna be all good. Like we got here in life at this age and stage in life, not by going through the field of daisies. You know what I'm saying? And we still here. We still survive. So you know what I'm saying? And I'm working through that process. Life is happening. But it's all good.
It's all good, man. Hey, it's gonna happen. I look at it from this point of view. Why stress what you already got to do? You got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Why make it worse? You can have a negative mindset about doing it and just be miserable the whole time, or just be like, it is what it is, and get done. And it's a lot more pleasant to deal with on you and your body, thinking of it from that point of view. Another,
your mind, the whole process, everything. Because I'm telling you, like when I say I was like down in the dumps about things, and like you said, the situation's already stressful enough. Just having to deal with whatever's going on, and then having to find a solution, but then don't add to it by pulling yourself down. Like it's already an inconvenience or whatever it is. It's already a challenge on whatever it is. Don't make it more challenging. Like, why?
Yeah.
Figure it out.
It just adds more to the challenge, man.
Yeah, just adds more weight, adds more stress, adds more bags under your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Adds more sleepless nights. The problem, it is what it is. Yeah, you got to sit down and think through it and figure out what's the game plan. How do I mastermind it? It's gonna be all right. You know. So yeah,
it's gonna be.
I've gotten better, man. I've gotten better.
Oh yeah. For those that needed to hear that, you know, you got to remember it, man. You got to remember it sometimes, and you got to remember to just kind of let go of it, be free, and whatever you trust, whatever God you believe in, or whatever spiritual thing you believe in, or if you just, you know, atheist and don't believe in nothing, you still got to let go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah, don't make it so heavy. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna work itself out. You know, I'm sure life has shown all of us that it always will.
Yeah, like I said, like we survived somehow, and we still here. Like we had our ups and downs too. Like it hasn't been a field of daisies the whole ride these last 40 plus now years. You know what I mean? But yeah, we good, man. Hey, so
it feel like you're never gonna get back up. So you always do. You know what I'm saying? So it's what.
Don't get me wrong. It get tired. Like, man, dude, should I still be going through this at 40 now? So like, that's things that's 20-year-olds. No, hey,
you want to be done with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing. I don't beat myself up for feeling the feelings, but I don't allow myself to dwell in the feelings.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have an array of emotions as humans. You're gonna have the feelings, but that's why I say let go of them, you know. And people get the advice, let go of them. It was a strange thing. I've had people, I hear people say it to everybody, and it's like, what the hell does let go mean? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go. But I'm talking about present tense. In the present tense of it, let go of it in the moment. Now, something 30 years ago that you holding on to, that I haven't figured out how to tell people to let go of the past necessarily. But
yeah,
you know, if you
but the current state of some of your situations, sometimes you just have to relinquish and be like, hey, it is what it is. Some things I can't do anything about. Some things I can, but what I can do is what I can do. Just let me do what I can.
Do as much as I can. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, man. So let's do this real quick because I need to take a moment to acknowledge, but we got some stuff to talk about after I acknowledge it. So let's talk about these cigars real quick. Let's get to the stars of the show, and then we'll press on with the everything else that we got to talk about. So let me know what you got. What are you smoking? What are we smoking today?
Today I got the homie Alec Bradley.
Alec,
the double broadleaf.
The brothers.
And I chopped a little too much off the top. You know what I'm saying? So that cap is starting to heal just ever so slightly. So
yeah, let me see that cap. Come on, let me see the cap. Let me see the cap.
You got it. I took a little too much off the head, and right there I can see where it wants to begin to start peeling. There you go. You kind of see it a little bit. If we was in 4K, you'd see it, but we in 1080p. So
yeah. We still on the PS4, not the PS5.
Yeah.
Dreamcast.
Nonetheless, you know, it might start unraveling as heat started hitting it throughout the episode, but it is what it is. It's all on me. Let me give you some information on the double broadleaf. My apologies. It is, I got the Gordo, so I got that fat boy, and I got the Honduras origin, Connecticut broadleaf, obviously in the name, and then we got the Nicaraguan binder also within it, and a little bit of Honduran and Nicaraguan filler.
Okay.
And that's what we're working with.
All right, sounds really similar to like the amount of things you have going on with your cigar there.
Yeah.
Got quite a bit going on. I like it.
It's called the experimental series. So
makes sense. You know, and I think I smoked the Alec Bradley that was similar to that, and they were going to this whole thing with experimenting to try to find the best new quality for their cigars since Alec Bradley went through a slump for a little bit. But the last one I smoked, it was actually pretty decent. So we'll see if these experiments are still working. If they're still shooting in the right trajectory, we'll find out.
Most definitely.
Right. So if you see, smoking here, there we are. Boom. Liga Privada. We're on the Liga. We're on the Liga today. So right now I have the Unico series. This is UF13. So Liga Privada's been doing a little bit of experimenting themselves. The last big change of Liga Privada or addition to Liga Privada that I had was the H99. I think you had it too. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Of course, I've had the Year of the Rat, which is not necessarily a new blend, but kind of bringing some of those favorite blends together. Then what else did I have? I had? I never had a Flying Pig. I think the Year of the Rat was the last Liga Privada I had. But now we're on to this new experimental series, the Unico. So I'm at the UF13, and this is a nice smorgasbord of mixtures that I have going on here. So check this out. My wrapper is Connecticut broadleaf. Binder is plantation grown Brazilian Mata Fina, whatever that means. Somebody please tell me. We got fillers, Honduras, and Nicaraguan Cuban seed. So we're over in Nicaragua. We got Connecticut broadleaf. We got Brazilian binder. We got Honduras and Nicaragua again for fillers. So we got a lot going on here with this stick. And already on first light, started smoking it, and I couldn't tell what I'm getting. I had a lot of pepper in the beginning and a lot of different notes and flavors coming at me immediately upon the first few puffs. And it's like, what am I smoking? I don't know yet. It has no identity just yet. So as I'm a few puffs in, I kind of got an idea of where it's gonna go, but gonna hold off and we'll find out. So this is a journey stick here.
Look like we both on a journey with these, man.
Mm-hmm.
Should be interesting though. Should be interesting.
Journeyman. Yeah.
Journeyman.
So here we are. So let's see how this ride goes. Let's take the ride with us, and we'll let you know where we land. We're on a flight right now. Get the passport stamp.
Yeah, man. In several countries. Shoot.
Speaking of passport, I got to get mine stamped sometime soon. It's been a minute since I had my last stamp, and it's time for a new stamp, my man. Time for a new stamp.
Right about that.
Yeah.
Got the bug, man. I'm ready to get it.
You got the bug. I got the bug too. And I think after I get past this phase, it's gonna be on. Yeah. We catching flights in 2025, 2026. It's time to catch some flights, man. Time to catch some flights.
Glad you said 2025. I'm glad you've been playing.
Hey, by the end of the year.
This year.
Yeah. Let's get it in some this year and let it roll into the next year.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good sign too, because you didn't hesitate. Like that lets him know it wasn't a thought out thing. You let it fly straight from the heart. That means you felt that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gotta be.
Yeah, man. Hey, something else I feel too.
What's that?
I feel the playoff atmosphere. NBA time. This is the finale of the sports season. You know, we had the Super Bowl, we had March Madness, we had what else? Some other things going on, the Masters, you know, and then now we're in the finale, man. You know, LeBron, he might get a ring. Curry might get another ring, and we got a whole other conversation if we ever want to talk about that. If Curry gets another one in LeBron era, we got a whole new rising stars who are coming into the fold. And then we also got Detroit basketball back in the playoffs. So yes, I did it. You
brought it out.
I had to bring it back out. This thing been sitting in my closet, covered up with a black drape over it, because I didn't want to see it for years. But I can pull it back out proudly. You know what I'm saying? If you see the number on it, it's Chauncey Billups, of course. So that tells you how far back this one goes.
I know. I'm looking at the size of it too, and I know how far back.
It's this early 2000s size.
In them days.
It's early 2000s size. Back
then. Hey, look, man. I'm gonna say this, man. It's an interesting time in basketball. You know, you mentioned LeBron, and that's interesting that he's even on the table to potentially win one, because if you'd have looked at just the halfway mark of the season, maybe we wouldn't have been considering that. But
you got the Luka trade.
Nice transformation since the trade. I'm actually curious if we can get some new stars born, and not stars in the sense of we know these new names, but you really make your name in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
So there's some guys like, you know, Shade is doing good out there. And OKC, you got Cleveland is doing great. You know what I'm saying? Donovan Mitchell and them. But they can really take their name to the next level during these playoffs to see if we can get some teams to become some breakout teams in the mix. And that would be fantastic, but we're not always talking about the same franchises, because those are two franchises that we tend not to think of. I mean, Cleveland, you only think of them when LeBron was there.
Yeah, when LeBron was there.
KC had one little run, you know, and when they were Seattle, they had, you know, couldn't quite cross the threshold. So it's cool to kind of see some new franchises popping out with the potential of actually making some serious noise out there.
Yeah, even with New York in the fold again. Who else is in the fold now too? I mean, like it's just good to see a fresh new wave of young up and coming stars, and who's going to be the one to say, no, this is my era, because we got LeBron's era's ending.
Yeah,
Curry's era's ending. Durant, all these older stars, they're on the way out. So who is going to take over and say, no, this is my league. This is my league. And guess what? Joker don't want it. It ain't his league. He going to win. He got his dubs. He's won. But
they're another one that could potentially out of nowhere start making some noise. They're experienced in the playoffs. You know, you got teams like that. You got Boston who won theirs, and they experienced.
Are they going to go back? Yeah. Are they going to
go back to back? Yeah. Go back to back. You could get
we're at an interesting turn. And I'm mad you still haven't said anything about the Pistons. Is Cade Cunningham going to do something and be a name? Get his respect. Man. Put some respect on his name. Bad Boys 3. You know what I'm saying? Ride or die.
Drake said he was knocking off in Cade's Crocs. You know what I'm saying? You heard that?
I never heard that, but ouch.
It's
Drake said that?
Yeah, he just a song leaked to him talking about, how he hit his girl in Cade. He found his Crocs in the locker room, so he hit his girl in them or some mess.
Come on, man. Did Toronto make the playoffs? I don't even think Toronto made the playoffs. So, hey, Drake, you need.
It's appropriate. It's appropriate. But look, I didn't say nothing about y'all because I don't expect much from y'all. And not even in a disrespectful way. It's just we
still building
this season, but I don't expect.
I'm gonna say we overachieved. 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. We worked hard. We made some changes. We made some good trades. Our young stars finally showing some promise. I think we achieved what we needed to achieve. Based on last year's stats, you can say we overachieved. Yeah. But things have been in the making.
A lot of progress. Y'all were like
we made progress.
Worst team in the league just a year or two ago. You know what I'm saying?
We made progress. Not that we overachieved. We made progress.
Okay. Y'all made progress, but I don't think a franchise turns it around that quick. Is why I say that's why I call it an overachievement. Today, this season was a dub for y'all. I'm not ready to take it from y'all. It was a dub, but I don't foresee y'all going deep into the playoffs.
Fair enough.
Semis, and then y'all done. If you get to the semi-conference finals,
fair enough. Hey, look, I was just happy to see him scrapping. I was just happy to see my team scrap. Hey, Bad Boys is back. We scrapping. Let's get scrappy. We a hard-nosed city. Let's do it.
That was 3. I give y'all that. It's looking like it's on the verge. And I'm happy to see it. In all honesty, I'm happy to see it because that's good for the NBA. Because I tease you about Detroit, but that's one of the great cities in American history, and it's one of the great basketball franchises of all time. And it's good to see them back because when Detroit's back, it does get interesting. You know what I'm saying? It adds a layer. Okay. It's like if when Boston is back, it gets interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's certain teams that you just want to see in the fold. Certain teams that you know that it just feels good to see them in the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
The Lakers in the conversation is good. They're supposed to be there. If you can get San Antonio, they're one of those teams now. I think Dallas is now should be recognized as one of those.
Yeah, they're coming to that because they won. Well, yeah, they won recent. Well, not recent, but they won in the 2000s and up. So
right now, ironically, Chicago one of those teams, even though they're one of the greatest franchises.
It should be
one run.
Yeah, they should be. It's all you're right about that with Chicago. Now, I'm not saying they haven't had good seasons back when they had Rose, they had Ben Gordon, all those guys. They had some pretty decent runs, but when it comes to like really putting a stamp, it was only during Jordan's years, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy for Chicago.
Yeah, they are. When you talk about the teams with the most championships, is Golden State, Boston, LA, and then Chicago. Yeah. And then Chicago, but it's only due to one man with Chicago.
Yeah. So those six in that one decade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I don't put them in that talk. You know what I'm saying?
Which is crazy to think about that. Like to think that they only won in one decade of the league's existence, and they're still with some of the most wins in history.
They're fourth place.
That's something that should go on Jordan's resume. The fact that your franchise is only in that conversation for the greatest franchises because of that one decade that you were able to get it done like you got it done. That is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That is something to say. I never thought about it in that context, but
nobody talks about that. That's an incredible check mark to him. You know what I'm saying? But
check mark to him. Slice this up short.
Right. Now, I say the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks is another one, even though they
never won. They won in the 70s.
Right. That's their problem. They're one of those franchises when they're doing well, it gets interesting because they're a big city.
Yeah. Big market, big city, big basketball town. Like when they win, it's a lot of hoopla that goes behind it. So we need the Knicks to be competitive just to make it, like you said, an interesting conversation.
Right. Philly should be in that, but they don't fall in the conversation for some reason. I guess because they don't do it enough. They kind of like
they don't
Chicago.
win.
You don't
They don't take it all the way. They don't take it all the way. Has Philly, do Philly have? I think Philly has chips in the 70s as well. But
Doc J got one with them. You know what I'm saying?
one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But other than that, they haven't won. They went to the finals one time with AI, but then that was it.
Yeah, but they're one of those markets that love sports. They're a sports market.
Sports city. Yeah, sure.
They should, and they have won, but they just, they don't fall in the conversation. But yeah, either way, nonetheless, it should be very interesting, man, because like you said, the Knicks is got the potential to make a little noise. I don't think they're going too much further than y'all go, but they'll make a little noise. I like to be honest with you.
We're playing the Knicks.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's why I said if y'all can get to the semis, I don't expect you to, but if you can, that's as far as you go. You know what I'm saying? I don't think y'all get past the Knicks.
But if the Knicks beat us, that's as far as they're gonna go too, right?
Probably. In all likelihood, yeah.
But we'll see. It's gonna be fun. I'm ready to watch it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the playoffs kicked off yesterday. I didn't watch, but I know my team is playing today. When? Yesterday?
Yesterday was play-ins because Miami and
we still had the play-ins. That's correct. Which still blows my mind. Like, I don't understand the whole play-in thing. Why do we have it? I'm still trying to understand the whole makeup of it. Like, how does it work? Like, it's a 4-team tournament or a 6-team tournament to figure out who's going to be the last 2 teams to make it in, or whatever it is, that 7, 8 spot. I'm old school. If you got enough wins to make it in the playoffs, you should have enough wins to make it in the playoffs.
That's how I looked at it. And how did they used to do it? If 2 teams was tied at the end, they went by who had what?
You look at the conference record,
something like that.
Like how they matched up during the season. Then you look at the conference, what's their conference record? Who has the best conference record? And then who has the more wins head to head? And then like, okay, yep. So you beat this team. Where they play each other in the conference twice. You beat them 2. They didn't beat you any. You got a conference record of 7 games over. They only got a conference record of 2 games over. Guess what? You're in because you perform better throughout the season when you look at the whole totality of it. So guess who deserves to be in the playoffs? That team who performed better throughout the season.
I like that personally. If you want to do a play-in, have it be between them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep the play-in simple. Maybe the 8th and 9th seed can do it every season if you want to do it. But I don't understand the way it is now. It's too many teams for 2 spots.
Having so many teams competing for 2 spots and be like, all right, we'll do a little playoff, a pre-playoff, and then you guys got it. To me, that tears down the integrity of that first season. Well, not necessarily the regular season. Well, I guess it taints the integrity of the regular season, but it messes up that first round matchup. Like to see an 8th team go up against a one seed, and that 8th seed get a win in that playoff series. Now you got an 8th seed that's they already had to go to bat and battle for that spot. Now you got to go play the number 1 seed. So now you have them playing extra games to play that 1 seed, which makes it easier for that 1 seed because you've already put them through a playoff environment. Maybe it helps them because now they're like geared up for the playoffs because they had to go through a playoff run. But sometimes after 82 game season, talking about burnout, like players don't even want to play for a full 82 games anyway. So you add extra games and make them play in a pre-playoff, which is a playoff environment, which takes a lot out of an NBA player. And then now say, all right, you made it through this tournament. Now go play the big boys and go play that number 1 seed.
You know why that's a good point, bro? Because as it is, we already know how important the rest is during playoff season. It's a balance in the playoffs. You can't get too much rest because you come in rusty for your next series. But a lot of times you see them guys that be resting for a whole week and a half, they come in and lose game 1. So it's a balance to it. In that, not too much rest, but you need the rest. And like you said, that's the mental. I heard LeBron talk about it, a clip of him where he was saying he was stressed to death during his very first playoff series. He said his stomach hurt all day and it didn't calm down to the tip-off because it's those nerves and everything that comes with the playoffs. That's mental fatigue. So to put a guy through that prior to the actual playoffs is putting them up against it.
Yeah.
And you would think that they would not before that, but I think it's Adam Silver.
Or maybe they're doing it to protect in two ways. Participation trophies. Here you go. Good job for winning this play-in. Now you make it to the playoffs. Good for your team. Good for your accolades. But then you're protecting those number one seeds to try to make the better team even better. They give them a better shot of winning, and then also not allowing those upsets to take place like how they took place back in the day. Like to see an 8 seed go up against a 1 seed and beat that 1 seed used to be something special to see.
Yeah,
like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah, the Kimbe. R.I.P.
that moment. That's
by the way. R.I.P. to Dan Kimbe.
R.I.P. to Dikembe. But I forgot he was gone. Boy, that one.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? That's a nice take that you got on it. I actually have a whole nother belief, and I guess it comes from my from more of a pessimistic point of view. But I think that Adam Silver's trying to find a way to get these guys to play. You know what I'm saying? It's a way to try to create some competitiveness in this league.
I think so. Okay.
That's what the playoffs. I mean, the play-ins is that
the in season tournament.
You're trying to find a way to get these guys to compete more often. Is my take on it. Why we have the in season because in the middle of the season when it's boring and these guys is tanking games and low managing. Let's
again, like paying attention to what's football season. Nobody's paying attention to the NBA.
Yeah,
they're just fumbling the season.
Yeah, it's another way to try to create excitement because these guys won't compete. Is my point of view of it.
Yeah, I think it might be creating excitement, but more for younger viewers. So it could bold to be a successful idea, but for the traditional old school basketball fan like myself,
no, it doesn't excite us, but get the guys to be competitive because eventually, if we know that those games become competitive,
do they mean something? Do they mean something? Do those games actually mean something to those players who are suiting up that night to play?
Right, and when we see that those games start meaning something, fans ain't going to miss that. Mm-hmm. It's going to become exciting. But for now, us who don't understand it, we going to be like, when does the playoffs start for real? I don't care about
okay, about the in-season tournament. Yeah, who cares about that? I have not one time paid attention to the in-season tournament, nor have I cared not one time since its existence who won the in-season tournament. It means nothing to me. Yeah. Absolutely nothing to me.
Yeah, that's a participation trophy to me. But down the line, it means something. They'll hold it on somebody's list of accolades.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But yeah, man. But that's where I'm at with the NBA. I'm excited about it. I feel like this is the finale of the sports season, and I'm excited to have good times with the playoffs once again. Like finally, we are seeing something that's interesting when it comes to basketball again. Brings that nostalgia back.
We'll see. Hopefully it's up. And speaking of,
what's up?
They sent some ladies up in the air, didn't they?
They did. In the air. They sent them in the air. Astronauts. Astronauts.
Knots, yeah. Keyword knots. I see what you did there.
I don't, for the life of me, understand how they're calling these ladies astronauts. You put them in a capsule and you send them into the sky, and all of a sudden, now they're astronauts. Like astronauts, from my understanding. Say what?
They're offended that people aren't acknowledging them.
I heard that, like Gayle King. I heard her like be offended that no, like she said she was uncomfortable with the term, but anytime somebody didn't or doesn't want to refer to them as astronauts, like how dare you say I'm not an astronaut? Because one, you didn't study you know what I'm saying, like the whole astronomical whatever, I don't know what's the word of the whole thing of astronauts, whatever they study, you know what I'm saying, and prepare and rehearse and train the way that they do in order to successfully complete a space mission. That's what an astronaut is. Like if I'm a soldier, right? But if you didn't go through the training and the rigor and stuff, and you just own a uniform and I send you out to the field for a week or a day, or send you to the gun range and you go pew 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 and I put on a uniform, I'm a soldier. Doesn't make you a soldier. You know, you watch YouTube and you watch a plumbing tutorial and you go fix your pipes. Don't make you a plumber. Just because you engage in the activity that astronauts engage in doesn't make you an astronaut. I go shoot hoops doesn't make me an NBA player. All of a sudden, put on a jersey. I'm a hooper now.
Yeah.
No, I just participated in the activities of somebody of that profession.
Yeah, I'm glad you put it that way, and I'm glad you made the military reference as a soldier yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's because it's like that's the important differentiation to it. Like they're offended by it, and I even seen them play the man card. Like when men do it, and it's just like this isn't a scenario where they're downplaying you because you're a woman. I don't think. Maybe there are people doing it, but this is my thing, right? What you did was special. It was a special moment. Yeah. It was special, but it was special to you, not necessarily to the rest of us. But is it cool that a group of women went up and did that? It is a moment. It's a moment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Acknowledge. Did they go to space? They probably did cross the threshold of space. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But to me,
they went high enough to call it the fact that they did something special. Something
if you left the atmosphere, you went to space.
Yeah.
Just if it's just barely over the top. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is go an inch over and you're in space. So did they go to space? They got that. You went to space.
I have no problem with that argument. I see that argument all the time. I have no problem with that argument.
Yeah.
They went higher than I've ever gone.
As we think it is. It's up. It's just it ain't far to get to space. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Technically, to get to the technical place they consider space. People think it's supposed to be all the way to the moon, 200,000 miles away. You ain't got to go that far to be in space. You know what I'm saying? It's not the case. There's a guy who jumped out of the Red Bull machine thing, and he was technically in space. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't that far.
Yeah.
But my thing is what you said to the point, hey, look, if you ain't performing missions and you're not going out there doing the work that the astronauts do on a day-to-day basis that they have to do, it's kind of disrespectful to the people that put the work in to claim them.
Super offended.
Yeah.
I would be offended.
You're not an astronaut. Did you do something special and meaningful? Yes.
Absolutely.
Did it probably mean more to you than it meant to the rest of society? Probably.
Most definitely.
You tell me what you did that was special. If you went on a high top secret mission and y'all did something important, just say that, and then we can all say, "Okay, you went on an astronaut mission."
Then I'll give you the respect for what you did. Like to me, you just went on a cool ride. To me, which I heard Gayle King say, "Hey, they're calling it a ride. It's not a ride. No, you took a ride, and that ride just went really, really high. Okay, it was a ride." It was a ride. You went up, you came down. That's all you did.
Ride to space.
You felt some weightlessness.
9 months. You didn't do none of that. Like
you didn't go out and look at satellites and fix things and try to gather data.
A satellite for 3 hours working on something.
Yeah, that's what astronauts do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it was cool. Thumbs up. You got more balls than me. All of the ladies that did it. You got more balls than I got because I love space, but I have no interest in going up in it.
No, I'm good right here.
Yeah, they say the Earth is round. I believe you. I don't need to go on a space shuttle to find out. Like you know what I'm saying? I'll take your word. So it took a lot of courage to do what you did. I'm impressed. It meant something. Hopefully it meant something to women because it was impressive that you had all woman crew also. All of that, great.
One thing. Oh, wait. Time out. And this might lead into some toxic masculinity, but I don't see the reason why what's the importance of highlighting the fact that it's an all-women crew? Did they fly the shuttle? Did they plot the route? Did they put fuel into the rocket? Did they set the rocket off? Or did they just strap themselves in and then unstrap themselves? Maybe. Okay. Now that's the case.
Houston, it was all women there too. Hey, Houston.
But don't show me Katy Perry because I know Katy Perry ain't do it. Don't show me Gayle King because I know Gayle King ain't set the rocket off. Show me the person who plotted the mission, who went up in there, who timed it, and then coordinated the descension of the pod or whatever you want to call it, and coordinated the whole route and all that stuff. Show me that person. Now that all women crew, I'm gonna applaud them. But for the other ones who just sat there and all they did was just go, "Oh, it's the moon," and then came back down. Okay, great, good for you. But to highlight that there's an all-women crew for those people who just did that, Now, like I said, like for the ones who, if it was an all-women crew who did everything else
behind the scenes, yeah,
getting them up there, yeah. And those are the people I want to highlight. Those are the people I want to see interviewed. I want to hear their experience because now that has some value to it. But for the all-women crew who sat in the pod and went up and came back down,
took the ride.
Who took the ride? You didn't do nothing. You just sat there and you just observed. Thank you.
Hey, but even then, I'll let them have that if that's a check mark for them. You know what I'm saying?
No, you don't get to have that for me. You don't get to have that for me. What does that? What does that mean? What does it mean? Okay, you had an old woman say, okay, you went cross country on a bus, on a Greyhound, and there was an all women crew who went from California to Virginia on a bus. I can't believe they did it. Okay, what did you accomplish? You sat on a bus and you went from California to Virginia. You saw the Pacific coast to the Atlantic coast. Good for you. Let me talk to the person who drove the bus. How was it for you? How much gas did you have to put in it? How was the routes? How was the traffic? How did you persevere through all the weather that you might have had to drive through? That's where it matters. If you just rode on a bus, you put your luggage underneath there or sat in, watch some YouTube videos while you were riding, you get no credit from me. I have none for you.
Hey, but not even if they were the first time that ever happened. That's history, regardless of
how. They weren't. But they weren't. But here's the thing: we know that they weren't. They've done another mission before, like 2 or 3 years ago. Michael Strahan was on that ride. It was a male crew that went up and came back down. Same pods type of stuff. But it wasn't the first time that this has happened. That somebody has taken that ride to that.
The first time all women got together for anything.
Okay, so all women survived without getting arguments. Maybe I'll give them credit for that. That's a accomplishment. They were able to get along for 11 minutes.
I know, that's a historic feat. I'm not going to deprive them of that.
Oh man, my male toxicity is coming through.
It's coming. That's why they're gonna cancel us because of you. And I'm not talking about cancel us as a show. I mean cancel our generation and above is gonna get canceled.
We're getting canceled. Yes. Our mindsets of how we think. They don't like that. This new wave, this new generation. They don't like the way we think. They don't like our approach to things. They don't like our processing of information, our interaction with other individuals, the way we talk, the way we speak, the way some of our mannerisms is not becoming a thing that, you know, the newer wave or those who aren't so okay, even those who are our age and older who aren't okay with the way that we approach things, our mindset in our masculine ways, as they're trying to diminish it and push on to something a little less masculine, maybe, in my opinion. They're trying to get canceled. They're trying to cancel us. They don't like the way we approach, which is wild.
Hey man, we dinosaurs, man. We dinosaurs. Like I swear it ain't cool no more, man. That ain't sexy. It ain't with it, man. You need to
But they say it's not until it is.
Start being a little bit more in tune with your feelings and
emotions. We should be.
Emotions too. I understand. I want to, you know what I mean? But you know, if you ain't, you know, if you carry yourself with a little too much bravado and not enough humility, you need to get
That's what they're looking at. And I don't understand it. I don't get it, right? Because I watched my grandfather, I watched my father, watched my older brothers, my uncles, and I've had great examples of what I feel like are great men, strong men who have been able to accomplish things and get things done in the way that we get things done. And I look at my son and I want to raise him in a way to where he's fearless in a certain way, that he commands things when he moves into rooms as a man, and to not be a shell of an individual in a masculine frame. And I think that's what they want from us. They want us diminished in a sense, because it might be too much in some cases, but it's what it takes to accomplish certain things through certain levels of adversity. Of how we got here, I've seen my grandfather go through things and him persevere. I've seen my father push through and persevere in his masculine ways. is what's necessary. But for some reason, it's not the popular opinion anymore. I've been seeing a lot of posts and a lot of commentary, and I've seen Tracy Ellis Ross and her have an interview of how she likes to date younger men because the men her age and around her age, just the toxic masculinity of it is too much to bear. But to me, it's what's gotten us to a certain level of know-how in life. It's how we got here. Not saying that women don't have their part, but I'm talking about men particularly. Like, we move things in our way, in our thought process and our approach when we use that toxic masculinity to push through. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I don't see the problem. I don't see where we're going wrong. Somebody enlighten me.
We're not going wrong. Look, as long as men ain't like beating up women,
right?
Their hands on them, mentally being abusive to them, doing anything to hold them down. You know, R-wording women or nothing. As long as we ain't doing nothing like that.
Yeah.
What else you want from us? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just want us to change who we are as creatures. It's like going in the wild and telling the lion, you need to stop being what you are. You know,
lower your roar. Lower your roar.
Roar. Like, you know, look, both of our who we innately are is the genders. And some people don't believe in genders, but for the sake of argument, let's say gender still exists in this conversation. People won't look, and this is a general statement. I'm gonna just lay the table. This is a general statement. Yes, all women are not the same. All men are not the same.
Correct.
But in a general sense, what we typically tend to be is each gender. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the thing where we need to both be what we are naturally, innately. Mm-hmm. It's important. It's the balance of the ecosystem. What you call toxic masculinity is necessary to the ecosystem. Just like what women bring to the table is necessary also. We need both. We don't need, like, they're trying to make us come down to what they are. And I don't mean come down like we're better, but I mean, like, if we're at a 10 with aggressiveness, they want us to where they're at. They want us to come down to their femininity. And it's like, I need to continue to be this. Like, maybe
I have to walk my
perspective no more where I got to go beat a jungle cat off of you if we're in the wild. I'm not talking about that, but it's still a certain survival thing that needs to exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're going to want it to be able, you're going to want me to be able to tap into that if somebody breaks into my house. We both can't go, and clutch out when somebody running the house. You gonna have some toxic masculinity that I can go kick up and get busy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I gotta have that to tap into.
Yeah. You want to we're both looking and be like, who going? Nah, for me, in my toxic masculinity, something go down, I feel like I'm the first one who need to go figure out what's going on. I need to take it on. I got to protect my family. I got to protect whatever it is that I have. I got to protect my surroundings because my toxic masculinity innately tells me to do so. You know, I think it's the comforts of life of where we've gotten to that certain aspects of women and even certain aspects of men don't feel like we need to be a certain thing anymore. But once we stop being what we are, I think we put ourselves at risk. It's like a nation at war or a nation that's not at war. So if we're not at war, you want, going back to soldiers again. I'm sorry, I'm there. I'm brainwashing the system. Okay, is we're not at war, so you want me to put my weapons down? You don't want me to train? You don't want me to be that fierce soldier anymore just because we're not at war? Or do you want me to maintain what it is that I am? So in case it goes down, and in case I have to be that masculine, have that masculine energy, I can tap into it and go. It's simple. I have to stay in practice. I have to stay who I am in case something goes down. And then you look at me and you want me to be masculine. And I guarantee you, for any body on the other side of understanding what it is to be masculine, when it happens and you need that aspect of masculinity and you're looking for it, like, Do something. Be a man.
Yeah. And I ain't got no switch to turn on because you took the switch out.
Yeah. Now you're gonna wish I was like. Now you're gonna wish I walked in that toxic masculinity now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's ultimately what it comes down to, man. It's necessary. It's necessary. We don't talk about toxic femininity.
Yeah, and I'm not going to tell a woman. I'm not going to tell a woman to turn down her femininity. I'm not going to tell a woman not to have her emotions and sometimes wear her emotions on the sleeve. I'm going to use my opinions as far as like my logic of coaching and understanding. Hey, try to maintain and manage your emotions and manage how you feel and manage your femininity. But no, stay in your femininity in its fullness. But yes,
it's your strength. It's your strength. You should embrace it. Yeah, just like what I am is my strength, and I have to embrace it. I can't tell you not to be that. It has its place. It belongs. But is your toxic femininity why women can't get along with each other? Is that why you can't maintain a girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? But you still need to be that. Like at the end of the day, right? Our people talk about good traits and bad traits. We all just got traits. It is no good and bad traits. Your bad traits is good traits. Your bad traits is the same thing as your good traits. You're just using them in the wrong circumstance.
The wrong way. Absolutely.
That's all it comes down to. So I can have something that you say is good about me. I can be a neat freak. They're like, man, he clean up a lot, man. He keeps a nice, clean home, a nice, clean car. That's his positive side. But then if you got to live with it and I'm OCD and I'm bugging the hell out of you all the time about how clean I got to keep it.
Now it becomes a negative thing.
Good is my bad. Yeah. It's circumstantial for everything. So you want to get rid of toxic masculinity and call it. The fact that we even call it toxic is ridiculous. Yeah, you don't call the femininity trait when it's in overabundance toxic. So
as a matter of fact, you're right. I've never ever heard the term. Like I've heard the term toxic masculinity multiple times before. Now it's now becoming like a topic, like a true topic of conversation now. But I've never heard the term toxic femininity ever.
No, but it all just means we're doing too much with our traits. You know what I'm saying? So if we can find balance with it, this ain't even got to be a conversation. Yeah. It's just staying balanced individuals where you don't start doing too much in the world.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, like there are men who do take advantage of their masculinity and like you said, use it in a negative way. Now, yes, that's that toxic masculinity. But when they're talking about toxic masculinity, all the conversations I've heard as of recent, it's just normal man behavior, standard man behavior.
Yeah. Why you want to try to be the lead? I can lead. You ain't got to open my door for me. It's like
heard that. Yes.
Yes. I'm being polite to you. Like, what do you want? What do you want from me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I won't be nice. You want me to treat you like the homie? Then you can't find no good men when I treat you like that. It's like you gotta figure it out. Like, cause you're gonna make life worse for yourself. You got a nice, comfy situation going on where guys feel obligated to be polite to you just because of what you were born as. Yes. I've been raised to treat you well because I respect what you are. But now you like, hey, don't respect me that much.
Yeah, because I want you in your femininity. Yeah, I want you in your femininity. So let me be in my masculine so you can exist in your femininity. But I think the lines get blurred when women want to step out of their femininity. They want to embrace it and they want to super enhance it, but then they want to step out of their femininity into our masculinity. And then when them want to step into their masculinity and they bump heads with us, now we're being toxic. Our masculinity is toxic when they step into our masculinity. So you stay where you ought to be. I'm gonna stay where I ought to be, and let's find a way to coexist and bring it together. And I'm gonna use your positives, and you use my positives, and we make a beautiful connection with who you are and who I am, because we understand that yes, genders, they still have roles. I sat in an equal opportunity course, and we talked about gender roles till our faces turn blue, and so many different differences of opinion of why we shouldn't have gender roles anymore. I'm sitting there like, nah, y'all crazy. No, genders, we have roles. We should step into it, and we should know how to coexist and bring them together and use those different parts as a team of how we make each other better. That balance.
Hey, look, and the gender roles is a general rule of thumb. Maybe it doesn't apply as one large mark across the board.
Correct.
generally speaking, it works this way. As a man, I'm not the biggest man in the world, but am I generally stronger than the average woman my size relative to me? Yes. Are there women stronger than me? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't make one.
See that?
You crazy. I was being
I'm saying like I've seen. No, I'm saying like I'm talking about like I've seen like some women deadlift. I'm like, yo, how you deadlift that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm running. I'm like, how you? I'm trying to keep up with somebody I see running. Like, well, she out of here.
She out of here.
Got it.
Yeah, I thought you got it. Me. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm saying I know for sure on my side. Now, I've seen again. There's plenty of women who are stronger than men. They're definitely stronger than me. But like you said, like when you talk about relativity, yeah.
Is my female equivalent probably going to be faster, stronger than me? Probably not. But could she? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is there a woman that's bigger and stronger and faster than me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not a big. It's not a full statement 100% of the time, but the roles are general rules of thumb. Yeah, and if you have circumstances that don't apply, then don't apply. You know what I'm saying? If the woman is stronger than the man, then let her do the duty that requires the stronger person to do it. You know what I'm saying?
You moving them logs outside.
If that's her thing,
don't be in here dusting.
Yeah, if he's a better duster, let him dust. If he's the one better at organizing and whatever, then let him do it. If she's worse,
go ahead and move that furniture. You got it.
Yeah. If she need to open a pickle jar for you, homie, let her. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm cool with that. But
hey, babe, can you open this for me?
Yeah. If it comes to that, that's your relationship. But if it's not, then we got gender roles. You know what I'm saying?
I got this. I'm gonna open it.
Never want to do.
Me alone. I'm gonna open this. I got it. Like, no, just give me a jar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you have some that are like that. No, I'm gonna move it like that. Like, no, I got it. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. But I ain't gonna argue with him. If that's me, you got it. All right, go on in there and fight with that jar until you come bring it to me. I'm gonna go sit on the couch. I see you in 10 minutes with the jar. You know what I'm saying? Like
with a jar and a bunch of sweat coming down the side.
Right. I'm good.
Oh boy, we're gonna get canceled for this. Just for having thoughts of wanting to be masculine. Like you should want men to want to be masculine. I don't know why. I don't know why they want to tear this from us so bad. And this is something that we've seen climbing throughout the years. Over the last maybe 10 years or so, it's just becoming more of a topic until I think we're about to see the peak of it really, really soon.
Well, women have a feeling of feeling oppressed throughout history. Mm-hmm. And I understand it. I get it. I understand. But at the same time, if men aren't in a stage of abusing it now is not really the time to fight it so hard. When you have a circumstance you need to fight, but it's just a push now that you have a voice, and it's like kind of unnecessary push because we're in a time where men ain't just hitting women over the head and dragging them like cavemen, about their feet. Like things are improving, and if you got a battle, fight it. But I think this battle, you're pushing a little too hard on it because
you're creating a battle. In some instances, you're creating a battle.
It existed. You're now creating it, and it's just like we're better. We're better. Now, are all of us better? No, but talk to them specifically that you're talking to.
There you go. I like that. Specific. Those who are taking advantage of their masculinity. Let's isolate and talk about that specifically. Let's not make an overarching thing of just talking about masculinity in and of itself. But let's address that true toxic masculinity individually or case by case basis, not overarching.
Right. Agreed. All right, man. Well, now that let's do our final cigar review ever. Now that we've been canceled.
This is our last conversation. Can't let y'all talk anymore. Put a plug on them.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go first, man. I'm gonna talk about this Liga, man. I was about to go ahead and relight it because my burn did kind of slow off. I'm not going to say that is anything to have to do with Drew Estate or Liga Provider themselves. Probably me because of how I stored it. I'm not the greatest cigar keeper. I got to do better. Got to do better. My humidor is at like 54 right now.
Ah, that's pretty cold. I mean, that's pretty dry.
Yeah. It's not what it needs to be. But this Liga, it started out pretty rocky. Like I said, I really couldn't tell what I was getting off of this stick itself, and I contributed that to it being such a diverse makeup of a cigar, but having so many different regions brought together in one stick. But eventually, I think it found itself. I think it found its true Liga form about maybe right into like middle of that first third. I was like, yes, this tastes like a Liga. I got Liga from it. It had some of that sweet tobacco, light sweet tobacco, not like a sweet wrapper, but like a sweet scent of my smoke and a little bit on the palate. I got some spice in the very beginning, which was welcome. It was just confusing because I couldn't tell the flavors and all the notes and all the things. It was just too much complexity in the very beginning to like really truly enjoy the spice, but the spice was welcoming. All the pepper, the peppery notes that I got. But eventually, as it dialed in, like I said, it had a little bit of sweet on it. Some of that dark cocoa came out. I got a lot of oaky and coffee taste, like espresso, like a deep espresso. It kind of settled in, and that's where I ended up at, kind of at the tail end of my first third. Still have a lot of cigar to smoke. This wasn't a long cigar, if I'm not mistaken, it's Corona. But even that first third gave me over an hour of a smoke to this point. So really great with that. I'm curious to see where it goes from there, to see if any other complexities or any changes happen. But so far, just that deep dark espresso, dark chocolate, and pepper in the very beginning that really took place, and also some oak, and then some smokiness as well. So to rate this cigar out of 5, I'm gonna say it was a really good cigar. Not my favorite Liga, not by far. With my confusion in the very beginning, but easing into some kind of Liga form, I'm gonna have to place this cigar around a 3.8, with room for improvement because I feel like it can find more of its identity later on in the smoke. It's just too early to tell, but after an hour of smoking it, I feel like I have a good enough leg to stand on to say a 3.8.
3.8.
Yeah.
You know, that disappoints
Disappointed
me.
for a Liga, right?
Yeah. 3.8 is a good score, and I'm disappointed because it's Liga Privada.
Yeah. Just too much confusion. Too much confusion early on. I think that's the biggest hindrance of this Liga. Because like most of your smokes, for me, I don't know about you, but me, I like to know where I'm at and what I'm doing when I smoke a cigar. Like light bulb goes off, I know what I got. Like not 30 to 40 minutes later into the stick. Maybe within the first 5 minutes, as it's like it's burning, it's toasting, and things are happening, and then it settles in. I needed to settle in just a little bit sooner. You light up a Plasencia, you know what you got. You light up that Oliva Milanio, that V-Series, few puffs in, you know what you got. My father's, you light up a Arturo Fuente, you know what you got about 5 minutes into the smoke, and you can settle in and just enjoy the ride.
Well, bro, is what it is then, man. That's it. Sorry, Liga. Hated it had to be you. So for me, I had the Alec Bradley double broadleaf, and I had the Gordo sized one. So I'll show you where I got into it. Just getting through that first third myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say overall in the beginning, I noticed almost like a caramel note on the retrohale, and it had a very good aroma to it also, that caramel aroma to it also. So that was the first things that popped out at me right off the jump. Now, throughout this cigar, I had some of your typical cigar notes that you have, where it's like the woodiness, a little bit of that earthy woody notes that you pick up on with a stick, and a little bit of pepper on it, a little bit of pepper also. Now, as it progressed, I kind of worked my way into a noticeable amount of leather, not Gurkha leather, but but the leather kind of jumped out as a predominant note. But it was done well because of the oiliness of it, and it kind of blended with this sweet molasses type note is what it kind of blended with. And that's kind of where I ended at now, where I'm kind of like a little leather, a little oily, a little molasses on the stick. I enjoyed it. The aroma, like I said, was fantastic throughout, though. That was one of the top things for me, was just enjoying the smoke as it blew and the smell of it. So I give a lot of credit for that. I had a good draw on it, maybe because I snipped the cap so far back, but I got a good draw off of it.
Got a lot of draw, huh?
Was always a little off on it, and I don't know if that's me or if that was the cigar. I feel like I had a bad burn last episode too, but that's the only thing I may dock it for. But aside from that, I'll say this stick is about a 1 to 5. I'm gonna go with a 4.2. I really liked it, man.
Ooh, Alec in the 4s. Alec's making a comeback.
Yeah,
Alec making a comeback.
Yeah, the experimental series went well. It was a good experiment for me.
This is 2 for 2 for Alec, because I think I gave him a pretty good rating too when I had my my experimental one.
Yeah, so they back. They back. Well, let's not be premature. They potentially could be back.
Hey, they have a streak right now. They got a winning streak.
Yeah, and we want to see him win. So maybe it's favoritism, but I'm happy with it, man. 4.2 for Alec Bradley, double broadleaf.
Okay. I'm with it. I liked it. I like to hear that. Hey, before we get out of here, one thing I want to note. I don't know if it's just you. I mean, if it's just me, or if it's you too. We smoked our cigars for an hour. You said you were barely out your first third, or it's still in your first third. I'm barely out of my first third, or right at my first third. Do your cigars seem like they're lasting a lot longer than they usually do? I feel like I'm getting a lot longer smokes out of my cigars as of recent.
I hadn't paid attention, to be honest. So that's something I'll have to take more notice of.
Yeah, pay attention. Maybe it's a good. I don't know. They're doing something different, or like a lot of these cigars, or maybe we're actually are keeping it better than we usually do. I don't know, but I'm getting long smokes out of my cigars.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm sitting down. I'm like 2 hours have passed. I'm like, I need to go do something else real quick, man. I'm enjoying the cigar a little too much.
Right.
I got something else to do. I'll still have like another half to go. So hey, look, I like it. These smokes are lasting longer for me.
Oh yeah, love it. You get your money's worth, man. These $15, $20 cigars end up becoming worth even more if you break it down in increments of hours, of how many hours you get out of it. Could come down to really being a $5 smoke each time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not mad at it. I just been noticing that lately. So
yeah,
maybe we're just smoking good.
I think so. But either way, we appreciate y'all for tuning into this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. We out of here. Keep your sticks high.
Come up.
Yeah.